And we're live. Heather's reeling it in, reeling it in. I had a cup of coffee before, Jax got backstage because it's been a long day. So, hey, Jax.
Hi.
Everybody knows Jax in chat as the sassy smacker. Um, your channel, Mangled Unicorn, be sure to subscribe. Right now, she's putting up very cute little shorts of belly rubs for her puppy dogs and everything, but she is developing her tarot and her reading muscles. So keep an eye. Oh, Cookie, right?
Yes, this is Cookie Monster. Cookie.
Hi, Cookie. Get your cute little baby. Look at that face. Look at the belly. Oh, she's got belly. Oh,
She was skin and bones when we adopted her. She was 5.5 pounds, but she was in a home that had 3 or 4 larger dogs, and she had some scabs and stuff from getting stepped on. And so my other dog in the videos, it's a small one too, and he's an old man, so she'll
that's
try
Bubba.
stuff like, yeah, that's Bubba, Bubbies. I mean, his name is Spots, but I don't ever call him that. That's just what he came with. So they get along very nicely.
It's so nice when you rescue animals and you see how much their life improves after you get them. I had a dog that was when they got her was in such rough shape, and but she had a good life with us. So we got people popping in into chat, so we can start by saying hello. We have healing readings by Donna Marie. So hello, Donna, welcome. And we
Hi,
have
Donna Marie.
huh? Oh, saying hi. Okay, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. My bad. We have Annie Bear. Hi, Annie. How have you been? And she says she's doing good, watching old movies. Oh, Cocoon. Shan loves Cocoon. Yeah, girl, it's been a while. How have you been? And we have Shelby. Yes, happy Venus Day. It's Friday for Freya. So there we go. And somebody new also in my chat, Kumo Observer. Hello. Welcome.
That's Diane G. That's Diane G.
Diane. Oh my goodness, girl. It's been a hot minute. So, and we have Viviani.
Hi, Viviani.
And Shelby says, "Oh, he's so cute." So
It's
it's
a
a
she.
oh, it's a she. Oh, so Cookie is a she. My bad.
Cookie is a she, and then Bubs is a boy.
All right, we just say hello to Viviani. Want to make sure I didn't miss her. And so Jackson and I had a couple ideas of what we were going to do with the show, and got some ideas to maybe work on in the future. But as people know, my Friday shows, or if you're new to my channel, my Friday shows are usually like a hangout. Was doing it for a couple years with Allison. People might remember Allison, Aries Girl Tarot. It was like Friday night side kicks, psychic. So Heather likes to play with words and stuff. And then Allison and I decided to go do our thing, separate thing. And now it's a hangout and just still we chat, we ask how everybody's week went. So Jax, how was your week?
It was good. It was busy. Lots of shuttling of teenagers to school and stuff, and just assorted things. And my father-in-law was really sick, so that was really stressful. On the
Yeah.
family. And I'm just a natural caregiver, so I just did the renal failure journey with my dad, so I'm very familiar with all the protocols that they have at the hospital and stuff, and what you're supposed to do. So
What was
it
he
was a good
doing?
chance to use those skills that you never know that you actually need later in life.
So how is he doing, sweetheart? Your
He's
father-in-law?
doing better. He's
Yay.
doing better.
Good.
They had to shock his heart more than once, but they finally got him out of AFib, which is when your heart is not beating
Yeah.
in sync. So that was good. It was scary. It was a long ordeal.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you in his corner and his wife to help them through everything. That's beautiful. And something just popped into my mind. Have you ever thought of becoming a death doula?
I have thought about that. after what I went through with my dad, because the system is not kind, and
Mm-mm.
people are in a very bad spot when they're in that position. And I don't know. I what I went through, I would hope nobody had to go through.
Yeah. So I know some people who have lost people and have helped them. They end up finding like later on that there's this calling. At least one person I have known, at least that ended up studying being a death doula, said that it just ended up feeling like it became a calling for them. It's like there's some people can do it and some people don't. And for me, I don't think I would ever be able to do that. But people who are used to or able to have that ability to be able to help people. I think that's a powerful and a beautiful, thing to be able to do. We did have Isadora join us. That just popped in my head when you were talking about that, and I thought, well, maybe because it popped in my head, I was supposed to say it. So,
I have toyed with that idea, and I'm coming up to a point, like a section in my life, where I'll have more me time. Right, the kids are gonna
yeah,
they're becoming adults, so I'm not I don't need to be as hands on. You know what I mean? So it would be a good time to lean into that. So um, Allison's here.
I know. I was like, speaking of Allison. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? And Shelby says, I'm so sorry, Jack, sending love and light to him. My grandmother was always an AFib when she was alive and had to go through that. Oh my goodness. I can't
Thank you.
I can't imagine. Oy vey. So, but my week just, working, finishing that painting, starting a new one, still getting ready for the class in April. I see my career coach next week. We went to the beautiful park today. So I've really been blessed this week with a lot of good stuff. So really, no complaints. Food on the table, roof over the head, all is
Hi,
good.
Linda.
Linda's here. Hi, Linda and Wanda. I always love saying hello to Wanda. Gotta make sure Wanda said hello to her little baby. So, but yeah, that's pretty much. Except though, I'm getting a new deck. It should be here.
Ooh.
I went to go look at. So people know that Jackie's Crystal Moon helped me get my beautiful tiles from Jamie Sawyer. And I know that Jackie's been showing off her beautiful Jamie Sawyer Redux tarot that she did, and absolutely gorgeous. So I went to go there to see, how much it was, see if it maybe been on sale, and then I was like, oh, her nesting dolls are on sale, and I went and I looked at, oh my God, they're absolutely beautiful. So I should be getting them by Monday. So hopefully I'll be able to do a pop-up for that. And Linda says, Wanda gets annoyed when she's not included. So Wanda, we see you, we hear you. um, and let's see, Allison just said, just sign on. I miss what Jack said. That is somber, positive energy to you. It's her father-in-law dealing with, you said called AFib, a constant AFib.
Yeah, the heart problems.
Yeah. And so we got more people popping into chat. We got Jan, a lot of people I have not seen. For some of you may not know, I've done a couple of pop-ups on the old channel to let everybody know I have a new one, because since I moved here last year to Oregon from New York, I decided to start fresh and do a brand new channel. And I decided to leave the other one up just for the memories and to show the progress and everything that, because YouTube and the community here has been a part of my life for like 4 years now. So having moved in through different circles, different types of readings, ability to read, things, it's for me, I just leave it up as a, kind of a I don't want to say a sign, but it's just like, a reflection of, how far I've come. So a lot of people didn't know that I had the new channel. And Elsa said, understood and I'm familiar, blessings to him. And wait a minute, I think I missed somebody else. Let me just jump up here. And Lori is here. Hello, Lori. Good to see you. That's Craigie Brooke Witchery, and I would go check out one of her last videos. She's an amazing artist, and she's thinking about creating her own deck. I think
Ooh.
your artwork is stunning, Lori. Very beautiful. Irene is here. And we said hello to Kumo. And let's see, I know Janet is here. And Roman is here.
Hi, Irene, Janet, Roman.
I'm getting a new deck, Roman. But this is not anybody made me do it. This is all a Heather deck. Well, it's beautiful. I saw your video. It was gorgeous. So the proof is in the pudding or in the painting as it is. So everyone's saying hello to each other. So was there anything on your mind that you wanted to talk about before I got into my little thing here?
No, go ahead.
Roll. Oh, okay. So for people who are new,
that's right. Do it.
Just roll, and if something comes up and we go one way, and then sometimes we go a whole different way. So sorry, I had to take a sip. So I've been pulling out all my different books because some people don't like, or they say, well, you really should be reading from the book, when you're doing a live, when you're doing readings. For me, I love looking at the book because yes, and I'm talking about tarot. So yes, the tarot has a specific, meaning to the cards. But what I love to do is I like to look at what other authors write, because sometimes they always have a couple of the same, keywords, but they will also add their insights to them. And I absolutely love being able to put other people's perspectives in. And if you have as many decks, I don't have like a ton of decks, but with as many tarot decks I have, trying to retain all that is quite a bit. So I do like to pull out the booklet. One of the decks, one of my favorites, is actually, and Allison made me do it, is the Hush Tarot, her and Ginger. I absolutely love Jeremy Hush's artwork and his perspective reading in the cards. And I'll know from when I read for certain people, or if there's a certain question, the decks, I pick decks, but the decks, I'm sorry, I'm seeing Tom. Tom, don't start already. So the decks, will pick themselves for certain readings or for people's energy. And I'm just going to set this book down for a second. And if people are trying to figure out what is Tom doing, the last time I went live, it was Wednesday, and people in YouTube were having trouble with YouTube not posting people's comments. Anything in English was rejected, but as long as you used emoticons or you put it in another language, and so trying to do readings, I told people, okay, you want a reading, put the little Joker card in there. I'll know you. And Tom and I don't know how many other people, Jax included, were having conversations in Spanish. And I'm like, no, I know Espanol, no. So we had a blast that day. Thank you, Jax, for,
that was a lot of fun.
You and Tom, that was a lot of fun. Indeed. So people wondering what Tom is up to, besides the usual shenanigans, that's what it is. But one of the chapters I opened up to was about how to read the cards. And, did I just chip that? I did. Okay, let's put you there. Alrighty. How to read the cards and considering how to phrase questions. And I thought this was interesting. It's kind of like a refresher. And Brenda T is here. Hello, Brenda. How are you?
Hi, Brenda.
Bonjour. Yeah, bonjour, everybody. And I just found it interesting because even though we have been a lot of us in the YouTube community for how many years now, I like refreshers because there's always times when we could use a good refresher. And again, like with reading other books, getting other people's perspective on the cards, their art, it gives the tarot, the cards, in extra layers of meaning. And I was looking at some of this today, and they said the best ways, to phrase questions, is to make sure that they're open-ended. And it says tarot is a medium that doesn't like being asked what, but rather why. Take advantage of that strength. You may be tempted to ask questions that require a simple yes or no answer, but there are often too many factors at play to obtain a simplistic answer like this. So, for example, instead of asking, will I get the job? Ask, what can I do to increase my chances of getting, the job? Rather than asking, does he love me? Try, how can we improve our relationships? So I found these rather refreshing. As many people know too, for me, ethic wise, and this kind of goes into tarot reading ethics as well. Third parties are a little, you gotta, touch them with a kid glove in so many in certain words and specs. Because for me, as somebody asking for, to tap into somebody else's thoughts or energies without their permission, for me, doesn't feel quite right. But sometimes when doing readings, spirit will allow for certain things to come through. I think that was something else and I discussed one night. So for me, I'm still kind of, wading the waters a little bit with the third party questions. And what I liked what Tina, oh, and by the way, it is by Tina Gone, the book. I have done a deck casual with Gerald on his channel. And Tina is actually a deck creator and the creator of Labyrinthos. And I highly recommend following her on Pinterest because she includes so many cheat sheets and breaks down things, for additional insights into the cards, whether it's her tarot decks, her Lenormand, her astrology, just fabulous free resources. And hello, Selena. And oh my goodness, I mentioned Gerald and he pops in. Ooh, now we can just, invoke Miss Tarot D. Let's see if we can do that. We have Selena. Hello, Selena, my dear. And Gerald and I had a great discussion on his channel about this book. I still love it. It's one of my go-tos. I still want to get a couple of other books like Rachel Pollitt's and one of Anthony Dawn's books. But I really like how Tina
But
breaks
that makes a lot of sense, though, to bring it back to your point, is that, with like such a narrow, focused question, yes or no, things of that nature, there's a lot of like a spiritual monkey wrench, right? There's variables like other people's free will, and which is why time is not a straight line and it's a spiral because everything diverges together. So, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
We were also, Jackson and I was also discussing because I have a deck that Mary Grace Fairwin recommended on her channel. And it's, your basics. It gives you the ups, the reversals and the uprights. If you read reversals, it's there. But she has said that, during one of her commentaries was that some people are like, to her, one of her myths would be like, well, you really can't do yes or no questions. And she was like, well, why not? She goes, when you find a deck or get used to cards, certain cards that will have a yes or a no feeling, a maybe. And so she had recommended this deck. It's like $10 on Amazon. And of course, this is not me promote. And of course, purchase responsibly always. But for $10, I think this was $10. It gives you not only the reversals and uprights, but if you want to start learning to maybe see if you can do yes or no questions, there's also maybe included on here. And if you're connecting to the astrology, they connect signs with the cards along with decans. And I'm still learning a little bit of astrology. So I'm not quite there with the decans yet. I know Roman is very familiar with the decans. I'm hoping Roman, hint, you can maybe come on one night and we can discuss and get a better understanding of what the decans are. So with yes or no questions, I don't know. What do you think, Jax? You think it's possible to give, a yes or no question, or do you need more than one card for something?
I think it could go either way. I've seen it done both ways, right? I've seen people who will just, pull a card and they obviously have a yes or a no assigned to a specific,
Mhm.
thing. I would be more in the school of multiple cards, but that's just me. But I'm not really a tarot reader, right? Like I have two tarot decks, but I haven't really delved in at all. So that's not. I started reading Deborah Zackow's book, not to
Mhm.
make any sales or anything, but I enjoyed how her style of writing, so I've started that to kind of look into it. But I like a variety of different oracle cards, weird ones, funny ones, serious ones, just all kinds. Like
Yeah,
books,
Deborah's
they're
a
my
cow.
friends. I want a whole bunch of different ones.
Yes, become part of the. Um, Deborah Zakow was actually a guest on the old channel of mine, and her numerology and how she relates the cards, especially the court cards, to and exactly. I was going to mention that she popped that in there. How she correlates court cards to people on the families on the street in the neighborhood, which is fun. It's also very informative. And Selena will have Deborah on with her on Sunday. Um,
Yeah, she's going to be on Linda Day Gonzalez's channel too. She's a busy lady. I just saw her. Well, I mean, I saw the notification pop up that she was on with Linda G. the Comanche. So she's making
mhm.
the rounds.
She sure is. And Deborah was or has been a regular guest also on Gerald's channel. So her knowledge of numerology. I want to get back into learning more about the numerology. Um, and Beth says, I've answered yes or no questions with tarot. Often the answer is very obvious. I agree. That's why for me, I'm still kind of feeling that out. Some people will just pick one card and or they'll pick maybe three cards and see what the majority of the yes no or something like on that. But for me personally, yes or
It's
no,
hard to
again.
just it's hard to just slap a label on something when there's so many shades of gray, right? Like everything is really situational dependent, is it not?
Yeah, and I was just going to say this, and Debbie said, I'm making a pendulum for a friend, and the pendulum is also a great way of doing a yes or a no. But again, take it with a grain of salt because energies always change and making sure, because sometimes one day your answer will be yes, and this has happened to me, and then I'll go and like a couple days, okay, the answer was going to be yes, and then something shifted and it ended up being a no. So again, things can change. Energy changes, people change. There's just so many moving,
Yeah.
parts to, life and the universe and how things work. And Gerald says, I have a specific spread for yes or no questions. So it's always good to have one of those two. Um, and you've been doing, yes, Nancy and I have pulled a couple cards on the missing Nancy Guthrie, which is very sad. Hoping that she is found and her family can get some relief from her being missing is really sad. Um, Now, when it comes to focus on the seeker, so when it comes to asking, questions of third party questions, what Tina wrote is when our readings involve others, it can be tempting to use the tarot to give us an insight into their mental state or feelings. This can be false comfort, giving us a sense of control over others that doesn't really exist. And I like how she said that gives us a sense of control over others. And that really, hit home and was a refresher for me why I stick behind, for the majority of all my readings, that they are not a third party just because of that. Um, and
Some
when
people
again,
need to hear it now and they haven't been told it before, or like, they keep needing to hear it. I mean, it just depends on the path.
exactly. And sometimes I've done a reading for somebody and that person's end up coming into the reading. So I'll be like, okay, this person is making an appearance. And I'm just like, okay, Spirit, let me know what it is. And the cards and Spirit will generally, let you know this is what's okay to say, and what's not. So again, there's another nuance there
That
when
sounds
we're,
delicious, Linda.
oh my goodness,
Mm.
what is making I don't know what that is, but oh, onions and peppers. Oh, onions and peppers. I love the sweet Vidalia onions when they fried up. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyway, Tom. Whoa, wait a minute. What's going on?
He says declare
Declare? Eclair?
a
I
date.
must
Declare a date.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Murder of Crows. I know they've been talking about getting together to do the Murder of Crows. They may be in the mix. So it says here, for an example, don't ask what does my boss think about me. Instead, try asking how can I get more respect at work. Um, I would have to scroll up a lot. I'll take a look at that in a second, Tom. I've got 20 between 18 and 20 people, so welcome everybody. I appreciate everyone showing up. Me and Jax appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And it says here, so instead of asking what does my boss think about me, instead try asking, and oh my God, her print's so small, how can I get more respect at work? Rather than asking, does my ex still love me? And we get quite a few of those, as we know. Instead, ask, is my relationship with my ex worth saving? So, different ways of playing on. So, again, relearning, refreshing. Any take that you want to share on when it comes to third party or these type of questions?
Well, again, it's like consent, but I think again situationally because I'm such an empath, I just have to feel it as I come across it. I think if you are able to reframe it in kindness and without seeming condescending, right? If you can just be like, oh, what if we ask it this way? And if they consent to that, then I would say okay. And it because obviously you helped frame it, so it would be more acceptable to you. But if it's something that you're not willing to do, a no is a no, right? They can't make you do it. And you shouldn't if if it's ethically wrong, I wouldn't. It's that simple.
Yeah, because I know that there's been experiences, like I said, being on YouTube for as long as I have. There have been some shows that I've seen, not just within our community, but as a whole, other channels, a little bit more further out from ours, that um, it will, I mean, sometimes to the dirtiest, most gossipy kind of just, questions they will ask. They're willing to, ask the cards for people. And then there are some where, it's just it's just ick. And then you have people who come in who are obviously, they're troubled, emotionally or whatever. They're hurting. Some people have come in asking questions after having been separated from somebody for more than 5 or so years, and they're still pining over and they're still asking. And at times I've seen people still read for them, and I'm thinking, to me, there's a sense of where, again, that ethics comes in where, like, okay,
But
that
but
this,
that's hard to judge. Like if you're just like, oh well, why are they? You know what I mean? Like everybody has a different line. Everybody's plate is made of something different, and it can hold different amounts of things, and that will vary from time to time throughout your life. Um, it's just one of those things where if it's something that doesn't agree with you or resonate you, just change the channel. Um, because every atoms are not still, right? Like, and there's stuff in between protons and neutrons and electrons, dark matter that we don't really understand. So, your vibration and energy and how you respond to it matters. So, like, if you feel so inclined to say something, then do it. And then, like, for the way I look at it is, if I feel the need to make the effort and I did try and it didn't, work out one or the way or the other, then it's my job to self-regulate and to use my discernment to keep moving, you know?
yes.
Because when you get into that space of judgment, you're just bringing your vibration down and nobody needs that. Some of us,
No.
our job is to hold the light. It's
Yeah,
important.
there you go. Focused on taking action. So it says here, even when we feel trapped in a corner, there are ways of approaching problems that can make a real difference. Choosing to dwell on what you can't do to change a situation. Instead, focus on what you can. That takes away your sense of agency. And as an example, instead of asking, will I ever be happy? And I know I've seen some of those in chats, maybe asking, what can I do to improve my circumstances? Rather than asking, will I win the lottery? Try, how can I work on improving my financial situation?
Right.
So, yeah. And for a lot of us right now, a lot of us do feel like we are being trapped in a corner with things that are going on in our neck of the woods here and, other places around the world as well, but especially here in the States. And I know that a lot of people would like to pull cards saying, well, when is this going? And again, focusing on what we can control and seeing how we can take care of that ourselves, our home, our community, and let it ripple out that way. Anything you want to say on that one?
Sorry, I was just catching up. I was looking at something in the chat. Yeah, if you can't change the situation, the only thing that you have control of is your perception of the situation. So, I like to work smart and not hard. I will focus my energy on what I do have control on.
I like that. I will look smart. Yeah, I like that. And
It depends on the lottery.
yeah, as an exercise for learning, I like to focus on a well-known person and read the cards to discover hidden traits. Interesting. Usually hidden facts for those who have passed. Um, and of course, Tom running amok. Oh my goodness! And for the last one that I thought was, very important, where I was focusing on was focus on the present moment. Again, being present. And he says, though tarot's reputation lends itself to be perceived as a fortune telling method, and I let just put in there that when Amy Esoteric Rose does her readings, she always lets people know that she doesn't, for her, tarot isn't fortune telling. It's let's take a look at the energy. So that's one of the things that she automatically lets people know, because for some of us, we may feel that it is fortune telling, and for some, they prefer again to look at the energy. So, like Jax, mentioned, we're all going to be different. We have all different things on our plate that we could bring to the table, so to speak.
But that again goes back to variables, right? Because you can't control what their intention is with what they're asking, just as they can't control your intention when you're
Mhm.
asking your cards or your higher selves or whatever it is that you're tapping into. So, it's again, aren't we? Even if you don't think that you are very empathetic or whatever, aren't you feeling out situations constantly? Like, am I gonna move forward with this or back up? It's
Gut
it,
instinct.
you know, hmm It's what kept people alive. I mean, I
Our
probably
ancestors.
died trying to pet a dinosaur. That'd be something I'd want to do.
Oh, look at that big alligator looking thing going out of the water. I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's
Saber-tooth tiger, kitty.
kitty kitty. So focus on the present. Though tarot's reputation lends itself to be a fortune telling method, we need to remember that our future is not predetermined. So some people, again, this is going to be, depends on what people believe, what they feel is right to them or not. For some people, our futures are predetermined. There's that, coming into this, earth walk with something laid out and planned, things that we have to experience. And then there's still that argument of free will. So this gets, what would be a very, interesting conversation to have. And it says, focus on the journey of creating the future, of actively shaping it instead of trying to divine a predestined fate. Focusing on the past too and wondering what could have been is likely to lead to dead ends. Now, unless of course you're going to the lovely Linda De Gonzalez here and does the Akashic Records, where we can open up and learn a little bit about, maybe some of our past lives, if you believe in that, and then see how maybe that, fits, into our life and our understanding when we get our readings and our spiritual walk and practice. For example, don't ask, was it right to leave my job for this new position? Instead, try asking, what is missing from my current job? Rather than asking, how will the wedding turn out? Ask, what do I need to consider about the wedding? So, just different ways of viewing viewing questions through a different lens or a different perspective. But yeah, as always, I'll turn it over to Jax, see if she wants to share any of her insight. Hi, Jan.
It's one of those you just have to use discernment. When is a teaching moment, and when is not the time, right? Because there's definitely times where I can see it's not appropriate, right? It would come off as condescending. So.
Yeah. So there you go. I just finished. Let's see. Stan is here. I just finished with Francine and Richling. I hope you ladies had a lovely show. So that was something I just wanted to talk about. I know Jax is starting to explore, tarot more, and I'm, going back to some of my old books, looking through, refreshing as always. Because with tarot, we're always, in my opinion, we're always learning. There's always something new to learn, a different perspective. I love a lot of the new channels that have come out. Lexi Fresh, excuse me. We have, I love Lennon Smith. I love Mary Grace Farron. Just really having different conversations. And then Selena's been bringing on some amazing guests for her liminal space interviews or her series, which I absolutely love. Wait a minute. Did she say calamari? Oh no, calamansi. Does that still have to do with calamari with octopus? That was one thing I could never eat, and I'm Italian. I was just like, couldn't do that.
It's too, I don't know, maybe it's how they cooked it. I found it too chewy. I don't really feel like eating a rubber shoe, but it was a chain restaurant, It's only
Yeah.
so good.
Let's see. So I want to make sure I didn't miss any comment. And of course, we always welcome, fellow readers to share their insights, their experiences, because again, we're, a melting pot here, of different backgrounds and abilities and learning and just our own different perspectives.
I like Gerald's suggestion that to start with the Marseille tarot, because there's so much tarot out there. I feel I have a little bit of a problem with choice paralysis, right? Because for me, what making a wrong choice as a child meant corporal punishment. So I'm trying to move past that. But I picked out this really cute squid cake tarot. So it's a Marseille tarot, and it's kind of a kawaii cutesy style. So like this is
That's a cute back.
and then this is the Wheel of Fortune. It's adorable. So I think I'm gonna that's what I'm starting with.
There you go. Start with working with what's best for you, and then from there you get comfortable with that one, and you're like, what next? And just move up the food chain, the tarot food chain. I think the squid cake is a good gateway drug into TDM. Do I know what that means? Of course I do, right? Or is that not for public
I
consumption?
mean, Rider Waite Smith is, RWS, so I don't know what that stands for. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say Tom, gateway drug into TDM. Maybe Marseille. I've never worked with Marseille. I just never. Though I mean, I like
Trademark.
Jax. I have no problem with Jax. There you go. There you go. Tarot de Marseille. There you go. She's like, ha ha ha. Let's see. Early ritual. I keep asking the tarot if I'll get an urban. You too. That's an ongoing thing, as we all know. People are like, what? No, for people who don't know, Tom is an amazing artist, not only a sculptor, but apparently he does really good photography as well. And he's got some urban scenes that Gerald wants to create one of his textile pieces for. So, and Janet Lee is here. Hello, Janet. 90 degrees in Phoenix today. Wow. We had 60.
That's hot.
It was beautiful. Beautiful. So that's my little spiel. Was there anything else you want to expand off of this or something totally different before we open the floor for readings?
No, let's rip that Band-Aid off. Let's open it up.
Ow. But yeah, only hurts for a brief second. So let me just go ahead and put the little ticker up there. So
I thought TDM might have been trademark. I don't know. That's what I was thinking for a hot minute.
Heather's brain was going somewhere else because you know how Tom, how naughty sometimes our chat can get. So, but if anybody would like a reading, if it's a general, just put general or put me with the question. And let's see. I see Shelby has asked. So Shelby, just a general then. When it comes to health or legal, I mean, even Mary Grace says you can still look into those questions, but you got to always preface to make people remind them that, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a, licensed professional. Always go see those, but see what the cards are willing to share. See, that's what Tom, I thought that was like an offshoot of BDSM. So that's why I was kind of like, wait a minute, is he, and Shelby says, so this is Shelby's question. I'm curious for a love reading if you can. Will I ever find the biker boy soulmate of my dreams?
All right.
What were we just discussing, Shelby? Let's take a look. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see how we can word. Oh, boy. Let's see. Soulmates. I find soulmates to be people of, deep friendships and it could be intimate partners. So let's see. So let's say, Shelby, how can you improve your chances of finding the right person for you in that vein? Unless you really want a biker boy, but you gotta watch out for some of them biker boys. Okay, so let me go ahead and I am able to star again. So wait a minute, why is it doing that? Let me see. There we go. I have you starred, Jan. Let's see. So Shelby. I want to use this deck. Why not? Shelby wants. Okay, Shelby. Or how about what does Shelby need? Let's just see what the cards. Yeah. Let's see what we get, Shelby. Because I can think of different ways of. All righty. Interesting. So, Shelby, your significator is the Seven of Pentacles. So here you are waiting. And it's about patience. So it's another, acknowledgement of being patient, having patience, knowing that, if you want the right relationship to come to you, that it really can't be rushed and it's going to arrive when it's divinely meant to or when it's supposed to. Now your tangible card, like I call my tangibles, is what, is within your realm of, of what you can perceive. This is the tangible energy. I did get another 7. I got the 7 of Cups for you. And so it's saying wishful thinking, possibly fantasies. So right now it's kind of looking at the biker boy kind of as a fantasy. Um, and so right now it's also acknowledging that, you're looking, maybe so many different places. Makes me think of that song, Looking for Love in So Many Places. Or so, yeah. So right now there's just um, too much fantasy, too much daydream, having to really be honest with yourself. You've got that Seven of Pentacles. It's remind you to be patient. Things take time. You don't want to rush, and possibly meet the wrong person or rush just to be able to have somebody. This time too can be taken for yourself, learning about yourself, getting yourself established. Because sometimes too, when we get into a relationship, we're looking for the other person to make us whole. Where when we come to a relationship, we need to be whole enough for ourselves to bring that type of positive relationship to us. But Shelby, honey, your underlying energy, whether you know it or not, is the Strength card. You're strong. You persevere. There's a lot of passion and focus and compassion in you. It's that taming of that wild animal. So right now, it's maybe just kind of getting things in your life tamed, in control. Keep doing what you find in life that you're passionate about, and that type of energy could very well end up could break through those illusions and bring the right person to you. Just got to have some patience, girl. And I'll give you over to Jax.
Okay, so we're using the Rainbow Brain Skull deck, and so your first card is Connection is the only game. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. Instead of worrying about the million things that need to get done, focus on the one common thread between them, your ability to make things happen. What I'm really feeling for you on this is that there's a difference between confident and cocky. And like, you get back what you put out. So you have to be careful of the energy that you're putting out to get back what really is what you want in your heart. And then we have a lot of energy that is swirling around us because it was recently Lunar New Year. Your energy that you need to move through this situation is with the metal rabbit. Okay. So the metal rabbit is about a state of graceful movement with creative expression and the divine feminine. The yin metal represents beauty on top of delicate, artistic yin wood. And the elements may be at odds, but combined in just the right amount of restraint and moderation, they can lead to extraordinary collaboration, especially creatively. Think of the beauty of the sounds by the string instruments or the healing vibrations made when you strike a brass singing bowl with a wood mallet. So it's going to be about balancing your heart's desires and like the confidence to know that that's what you deserve. And then that's what you'll get back that you need. That's what I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Just responding. Jan says that she has that exact deck right in front of her that I used. So I'm just finishing my comment there. And let's see. Suitmate. What? Suitmate. Let's see what she goes. I know. I'm just in the fiery mood. And I know. Let's see. It's been something I would love to do once in my life, but it's scary with the roads today. So yeah. Watch the roads with the bikes, Isadora said. Bikes are awesome. Just look out for the people driving cars. And you know what? A lot of times too is I've had people on motorbikes being irresponsible themselves too on the road. You're driving and then they zip in and out. This was really bad in New York. I haven't seen it too much here, but it would just, it would scare me sometimes to drive, especially when you see them coming around. Let's see. I don't mind riding myself, but there was only one person I would sit behind, and he's gone. Not by bike yet. Up, off for your walk.
Bye, Gerald. Have a good walk.
Thanks for popping in. And let's see. All righty. So, okay. Awesome. So we've got Jan up next. And I'm Aries Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Cancer Ascendant. How is this lunar eclipse going to affect me? All righty. I'm not the greatest when it comes to astrology. I know my 3 placements and a few others. So that's, I know tarot is a lifetime study and learning, but astrology, wow, for me, that would take multiple lifetimes. It's just so rich and complex. It really is. So, Jan, how is this lunar eclipse going to affect me? Yes. I love learning about other people's signs. I'm actually a Aries ascendant. And for your question, Jan, I brought out my Olivia Rose, the Mind's Eye Tarot. That called right to me for your reading. So let me put out of room here. So you're still shuffling, so I'll go ahead. So Jan, let me just take this down. So Jan, your significator is, I got the Tower card. Right now, it looks like you are tearing stuff down. And I love this card because it makes it look like she's taking control of that herself. She's saying, I've had enough. This old system's not working. It's time to tear this. Usually I have a different crowd. I'll use certain language, but it's time to tear this down. Time to rebuild. This isn't working for me anymore. So it's an absolute tear down and rebuild of your life right now in certain areas. I've got the 4 of, I love these cards. I'm looking down now more. So Jan, 4 of Pentacles. So right now, for me, I love this card because it's a card of being able to hold on to what is yours, keeping things close to you, time to save money, time to start saving resources. Because with that Tower moment, it feels like it's going to maybe take some financial getting around to rebuild what it is that you want. So right now, focusing on saving money, searching and holding on to resources. Let's see, what else am I know people think this is like the hoarder card, but no, this is something you need to do for yourself. This is getting back on your feet. And the underlying energy, I love this, Jan, is the 9 of Pentacles. So right now with this Tower moment, tearing stuff down, holding on to finances, using it to rebuild. And then you got this beautiful 9 of Pentacles. So that when you're done, you're going to have this beautiful garden. It's going to, it's just going to express your independence. It's going to be, a testament to your hard work, your focus, just having to get stuff done. I just love how it goes from Tower to 9 of Pentacles. And just whatever it is that you're sourcing and holding on to. I don't know if this is, collecting, doing loans, taking out money for, again, I'm not a financial advisor or anything. This could be very well putting money aside in savings accounts, into CDs, bonds. And I'm even getting, people who come to you that, ask you for money. You may even have to put financial boundaries in place where it's like, no, I can't. I have to focus on myself. I have to save. I just had this Tower moment. I need this to rebuild, my life, my situation, whether this health, career, finances. But then when you do, sweetheart, what a beautiful, you'll have your garden. You just use all that money to create a gorgeous garden for yourself. So that's what I have. What you got, girl?
Okay, so 2 things. So this one is, where's the camera on this thing? Okay. I'm hearing, don't forget to let joy in your life during this time frame. So, did you already forget how much fun actual fun is? There are so many cool objects, so many fun activities, so many interesting sounds, and so many everythings to look around. So, as we're moving through this time frame, because it's not just us that, you know what I mean? There's all of these people, all these pinballs swirled around doing different things. We need to remember to have fun because that's how we keep our vibration up. Because we can't ever hold one frequency indefinitely. That's insanity. So learn how to surf it. And then because of the time frame, what would you do here for this? When in doubt, let it play out from the Miracles Now deck. So remember to observe and don't absorb. And sometimes you don't have to act. Sometimes just existing is the answer and observing. And that's what I have for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. And Patricia Tyree has joined us. Hello, Patricia. And that was the only two readings that we had requests for. So if anybody else would like one, please let Jax and I know. And we can always at some point end the show with a collective for the weekend.
Hey, we did good. We made it all the way to 3 minutes till. Like it's almost a tight hour,
Yeah. And let's see, looking for comments. We've got 6 people left. Yep. Jax, you're doing great, she says.
Thank you, Jan.
Another to our community. So just going up, and chances I've been running up my credit cards. Well, I know I've been there now. I got to start paying, It took a lot
Gotta
to
pay
get
the piper at some time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. Oh, oh my God. I know Shelby left, but I just saw one of her comments. So nope, I did not miss anybody else asking for a reading. So
do you want to pull one for the collective for the week coming up?
Yeah. The weekend, whichever. So we want to do the week?
Yeah, because I'm gonna do an energy of the yokai to take us through the week. Sometimes we need to call on something outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So I usually pull 3 tarot. And I think I'm going to pull a talisman oracle. So collective energy for the upcoming week. Yes, Seven of Pentacles came back. Another deck. Let's see. Jan says, I got some kind of bad health news, and I just thought, what I'm tired of doing without the things I need and some of the things. So that was the tower moment. Okay. So with the health, but this is time to take good care of yourself with the 4, because the Pentacles represent health as well. So taking time to just, take it easy. Your health reserves, do what you can to, just keep your energy going, your positivity going, not overextend yourself, giving to others. Right now, it's okay to be selfish. Some people call it the 4, Pentacles, the selfish card. And no, sometimes we have to be selfish for ourselves to help us.
Self-care is important, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And as someone who suffers from like chronic debilitating pain, you have to lean into the good moments and enjoy them when you have them, because they can be sporadic.
Oh, well, she's having 4 Venus surgeries in March. I have problems with her. Yeah. Well, everybody, if that's okay with you, Jan, just send Jan supportive, healing light at this time. Keep her in your thoughts, your prayers, and keep her in good energy.
Do you mind if I go?
Yeah, go right ahead, sweetheart.
Okay. So I have the card Hyaki Yayo, the night parade of 100 demons, which I think is interesting because it's with everything going on. The bonds that connect people. Under the moonlit sky, a chaotic parade of weird and wild creatures dances through the streets. This is the Hayaki Yagyo, not a single yokai, but a horde, and each figure has its own unique form and personality. Kizuna is a beautiful word that highlights the enduring ties that link people, bonds of family, friendship, love, and community. The Hiyake Yago card affirms the strength of your existing connections and encourages you to nurture them through empathy, communication, and support. It also invites you to form new Kizuna. This network of emotional ties make you feel less isolated, bringing joy and inspiration. In times of hardship, these relationships provide comfort, support, and hope. I think that makes a lot of sense with everything.
Yeah. With this coming week, I got the Six of Wands, which there's going to be victories. Take them where you can get them. Again, having to have patience. It may be, again, those Six of Wands, take the wins where you can get them. The Seven of Pentacles, again, is acknowledging that we may be impatient. We want things to come to fruition. We want things to harvest. We want things now. And it may take a while for that to get done. The underlying energy is the King of Swords. So just staying grounded and focused, really thinking about taking the time to think before we speak, how we communicate with each other, look at how we're using technology, making sure too we get enough of a break from it, because sometimes we too much TV, too much social media, especially what's going on, it will tend to give us that feeling of nervousness, anxiety. That Seven of Pentacles. When is this going to change? When is this going to come to fruition? So right now, just take what small wins you get during the week. In the card for my oracle card for the talisman is the resilience. And just remember, everybody, that we are resilient. We are strong. We can be cunning, like the fox, get our way through the week, taking care of ourselves, our loved ones. And that fox also helps us remind us about the King of Swords and how, watching what we say, what we communicate, being very clear on our communication with others and with ourselves too. So that's what I have for the collective for the week. Now, Salema, did I pronounce her name right? Salema came in. Huh?
I think it might be Salama,
Salama,
but I'm not sure. Yeah,
so
that's my guess.
I pronounce your name correctly. She came in with a question. Do you want to end the show then with Salema's question?
Yeah, let's do it.
So her question is, may I have a reading for the month of March with respect to job, as I have been unemployed since October 2025. So we're going to look at the question for me as, let me see how because the book had a great way of acknowledging when it comes to careers for the question of how we phrase. Because at this time, we need to make sure that we're doing our resumes, we're updating them, we're putting our resumes out, we're doing our follow-ups with potential employers. Let's see, I'm looking for, because they had one specifically here for a job. So where is it? Was it right? Okay, what's missing? I really like these. Alrighty. Okay, what can I do to increase my chances of getting a job? So, Salema, what can you do to increase your chances of getting a job? And let me pull this deck out for this one. And when you're ready, let me know, and I'll just take that down so we can see your cards.
All right, I have the big energy card. It's all about bold, unapologetic flavor right now. Own it, savor it, and lean all the way in. So if you're applying for stuff, you don't necessarily need to be modest because it's competitive. So lean into your strong suits. And any extra help that you can get setting up the resume to like make it stand out from the others. There's so many people, and that's what I have for you, Salama.
Okay, Salama, I have as your significator, the Seven of Wands. So this is a feeling of sticking to what it is that you want, being firm, but not too defensive. So this is basically, again, stating your boundaries, stating what you want. Now your above energy, your tangible energy is the Two of Pentacles. And that Two of Pentacles right now is acknowledging that you are doing everything you can to balance the budget, trying to, keep things, being able to pay bills, being able to provide that sense of security, that sense of stability, looking at options. Your underlying energy is the Justice card. So there's an energy coming through of balance, of justice. But for me, more it's interesting, this Justice card. I don't know if there was something recently. I don't know with if you'll hear, that's my kitty. With the last job, I don't know if there's something that's because this is the underlying energy. I don't know if you had to do some sort of negotiation with with your last job, whether it was unemployment or trying to collect unemployment with that Justice card. There feels like there's some justice or fairness balance that's needed.
They worked for the UN.
Huh?
They worked for the UN.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. So the Seven of Wands, sticking to your, yeah. So the Seven of Wands is about, standing your ground, staying true to who you are, to your ethics. Yeah. Standing your ground. Stand your ground, girl. I know right now it's a balancing act. Right now, maybe with finances or something, or things are up in the wind. Well, I want to see what the next one is. The King of Cups. So this is staying emotionally calm, in control, being in control of your okay. The King of Cups, staying in control of your emotions with this Justice card and standing your ground. Stand in your truth with that Seven of Wands. Stand in your truth. Stand on, stand on your ground for what you believe in. But with that King of Cups, that's acknowledging that you can do that from a place of emotional control, maturity. This card could also be reflecting, Salama, that there may be an individual, and just because it's a male, the card's a male, this energy can be either male or female, but there feels like there very well may be some strong emotional support coming through. But remember to, when you're in those situations, see this, this is really, for me with this question, now that I know that, I'm wanting to like do a spread, and I know we don't have time for a spread. So right now, Salama, just staying grounded emotionally, showing that, you can, yeah, because you don't want people to get you, your emotions all up. This is showing that you have control of your emotions. Well, again, I'm just going to be repeating myself, but emotional regulation, standing your ground, keeping your boundaries. That justice card she keeps pulling me to that justice card. So that's what I have for you. Ooh, I'm itching to pull more cards. Let's see. Yeah, for more than 17 years. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. A lot of that kind of we're having quite the shit show in our country. So to put it
Ageism is the thing too. My mother-in-law, she she got laid off from her bank and she couldn't get hired everywhere else because of her age. You know, she was approaching Social Security, and I know that I don't know how it works over in Nigeria for Salama, but I mean, there's a lot of unkind things related to different stigmas of a varying kinds.
And I was just saying, balanced emotions, staying in control. I pulled from the talisman, and you got balanced emotions. So, yeah. Don't let them see you get riled up. Sometimes people like to, when we're in that
Ethiopia, they're in Ethiopia.
Coming at us, and they want to say things to get our goat. They want us to go have a temper, get angry, say something and this is where you're like, no, I'm grounded. This is how I'm going to speak. This is how I'm going to hold myself. This is how I'm going to present myself. Just what the fae.
Hi, Ginger.
What's going on, girl? Hope you had a good show with you and Ivana. Wow, East Africa. Oh, well, I don't say, when you say good luck, but much success, much love. I hope things work out. I really do understand. Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for joining Jax and I. Thanks, Jax, for hanging out with me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
As always, you're always welcome. Just let me know. And I'll be hearing from Tom or Allison about a Friday night show. That'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a blast. So, I'm getting notifications now. So, everybody, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your weekend. And have a great week. But right now, just take the time this weekend if you can. Chill, relax. What's this? Jax only has to do an hour. But hey, when you're off running your mouth, Tom, time's gonna.
You guys are bad. Bad.
It's like having a little brother. I never had a younger brother, so now it's like so unfair. Take that.
It's very much like that.
Yes. All right. Night, Allison. Night, everybody. Thank you again. We'll talk to you
later. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.